Hey there, hope everyone is well. Just going to do a little shuffling. Connecting. Let's ask the angels, saints, ancestors, and spirit guides into our energy for divine guidance with messages for our highest and greatest good, and so it is. Anchoring in the love, holding it in our collective space. So it is, and so it will be. All right. Ooh, Seven of Wands. Definitely standing up for what you believe in, standing up for cause, holding your ground, understanding like you're protected and maybe you protect others. There is something that you have reached some sort of higher ground on as well. With all the wands in the upright and kind of, it's almost like there's support here. It's almost like you're not battling this alone. If you're feeling like you're going through something, there's also this divine support with the angel in the corner there. Every time I see this card, it's Joan of Arc all day to me. So if Joan of Arc resonates with you, then this message could be for you. I feel like you're being called to stand up and do what's right. Wheel of Fortune. There is something here that, you know, you're doing to help others. I'm getting like you're standing up and doing the work, okay? And some of what you're here to do is to help others on the wheel, right? Learning the lessons, applying the lessons, integrating, and then moving on, right? There's lessons playing out here. You very much could be you know, someone who people deal with and they learn a lesson from. There's a bit of that. And then I also have fate and destiny here. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it talks about like change. That's the one thing you can rely on is change and the cycles of life. I saw the six, is it this? Yeah, Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. There very much could be somebody who is trying to prevent a cycle from closing. I feel like it's as a result of them being accountable for their own actions. Okay, I feel like the divine, there's some sort of like someone is stepping on someone else. Like there's this pressure. Someone is most definitely feeling the pressure to make changes in their life. They may be very reluctant. They may, you know, avoid this type of thing. There is something that they're being called to face, and I feel like they're in some sort of avoidance of this. And I feel like it's as a result of learning something, completing something, and moving on. I'm also getting this energy very much could be feeling afflicted, feeling like, you know, nothing works out for them and it's everyone else's fault and they're battered and bruised as a result of everybody else. But that's the part that needs to change, is that they're the cause of their own grief, their own, I guess, feeling like, you know, they've been through it. There's this energy of like needing a break, wanting a break, feeling tired, feeling exhausted. An Empress, an Emperor, the Lovers. I feel like there were decisions that were made regarding a contract here that maybe put somebody in a position to defend themselves. And this might have been somebody who was meant to co-create, but instead there was this abuse of power I'm getting. There's some sort of competition here, or there was some sort of like needing support. Right? There's this like changing of the guards. Changing of the guards. Let's see. Divine Femme, Divine Masculine is whose energy I'm picking up on. as it relates to this reading. So somebody who's in a father figure position, someone who's a leader. This also could be divine feminine. So take it how it might resonate. Both of these energies very much could be in a leadership position or leading with authority, understanding that they're here for a mission and they're here to stand up and do what's right. And I'm getting to make changes in the world. There's something that's like a much bigger picture than maybe what's been playing out. There's this like fate and destiny here. There's a union as well. And then I have a King of Cups and I saw the King of Pentacles. So there's some masculine energy also in the mix here. We'll see what we get. Seven of Pentacles talks about making wise investments, focusing on what's in front of you, and nurturing and working on things in your physical reality. So maybe there's projects, things that you're being guided to put energy into. It's part of development, right? The 7 is investing in oneself and personal development. Okay. Accepting challenges and responsibilities when it comes to real life situations. There could be someone like not engaging with others and focusing on themselves alone. This is a card of like independence. King of Swords. There is this like intelligence. There is this spoken word. Someone may work on things and it is maybe the spoken word. It could be a mentor. It could be someone who advocates studying, some sort of maybe teacher, mentor as well, is seeing maybe what you've been creating. So there's like observing something from afar. It could be a counterpart. It could be someone that you may receive divine messaging from. This is like the law of gender as well. So it's kind of like understanding those principles, right? Ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge, right? Expanding your wisdom, your knowing, so that you can apply it and share it. There's this like information sharing going on. Queen of Wands. 5 of Wands, Page of Wands. So I feel like this is a couple here who might have worked with others to try to create some sort of outcome. There was something that was done or something's being done creatively, maybe some sort of creative expression, maybe it's art, music, some sort of entrepreneur business type thing that you're tapping into. This also can be like making plans, trying to ruin someone's plans, someone feeling like they need to compete. There is this like entanglement going on here. I feel like someone is minding their own business where someone is not. Okay, so there's like observing from afar and working with others to create some sort of dissonance. But what they're finding is that they're creating, and this is their experience. So whatever they're sending might be returning. We'll get more. There's the Lovers again. I feel like this is like chaos and drama and competition. So there's an energy here that someone feels like they need to compete with you. And I feel like it's a masculine and feminine, depending on your situation. I'm picking up on both in the energy. The King of Swords can be very like cutting, blunt, passive aggressive. This is someone who's very like, their Queen of Wands is creative and passionate and purposeful when, in their North Node. I'm getting with the Queen of Wands, this is someone who has some sort of spiritual abilities. The King of Swords might be actually speaking truth about this Queen of Wands and this group and what they tried to do, where you needed to defend and stand your ground in the first place. All right. They may have tried to prevent you from closing a cycle. And so I'm getting they may have worked with others to do so. And I'm getting like this King of Swords could be someone who's going to speak some truth. You may not see this communication coming. I feel like this also represents authority, an authority figure. Someone who could be in the military, police, a lawyer, something like that. Someone could be getting caught up. Or this King of Swords very much could have been put in competition too by this Queen of Wands. So a few different things here going on. We'll get more information. A death. So there's some sort of transformation playing out. There's an ending here. It's like whatever they thought that they could create new for themselves is being stopped. So whatever they've tried to manifest or create is being stopped, blocked. It's like created some sort of ending, some sort of demise. Going from the unknown to known. So maybe what they were doing behind the scenes is what's coming to light. Going from the unknown to the known. And how they did this with others. Hierophant. Two of Cups. Star. I feel like what they were trying to manifest and create was an ending so that there wouldn't be healing in a situation. There wouldn't be this union coming in for the healer energy. I feel like wanting to create some sort of depletion so that there wouldn't be any life force energy to bring to the table when it comes to a partnership or dynamic. So it's like somebody wanted to create someone's demise so that this wouldn't come to fruition, but come to find out, like, they messed with a divine being here. And as a result, any action taken against them has been ended. There's an ending that's here. I feel like there's also this like faith. Somebody didn't take into account how strong your faith is and your hope and your positivity and your will to hold faith regardless of what anyone tries to put you through. I feel like they underestimated you and your faith. You hold the Holy Spirit. And they think that they have more power than God. They're going to learn a very difficult spiritual lesson here. There's that. It's like how we show up in our environment, how we show up in the different areas of our life, right? This applies to, our family, right? Are we learning lessons based on our family dynamics? Are we continuing the same pattern over and over again, or are we making changes to become better? Are we learning what we need to learn when it comes to religion, society, belief systems, as well as school? And where does our loyalty lie? Do we have loyalty to anything? Are we loyal even to ourselves? So it's kind of like, this is coming up for whoever I'm picking up on here. I feel like you're loyal, right? And I'm getting like, they're not. I don't feel like there's loyalty among thieves here. Okay? All right. Fool card. This experience was a catalyst for a new beginning here. One that you may not have realized was the point of all this. I guess with the moon, it's kind of like being able to bring to light so that something could be closed and finalized. There's like this finale. There's a finale. And I feel like you're being seen now for who you truly are. And I'm also getting they're being seen for who they truly are as well. And there is this new beginning, this new start, this innocence and naivete about it too. Maybe they thought you were naive, but behind the scenes, this is truly who you are. You will battle. You will throw down. You will stand your ground regardless. And it's faith. They can't rock your faith. All right. And so this is you walking with spirit and also being free. There's this like freeness, free spirited. Okay. You're free spirited. Hanged Man, bottom of the deck. Moon card is telling me that like there's a lot of hidden secrets. There's a lot of things here that, you know, we're operating from a shadow that needed to come to light so that it could be released, so that there could be this new round, right? New cycle representing the new beginning here. It's, you know, clearing karmic debt, right? So that as a light worker, star being, whatever you want to call yourself, you can be of service to help those that you come across and do the same thing. This might be something that you're working on, okay? So you going through your process helps others to go through theirs in some way. I feel like things are coming to light here. There's a strong subconscious, psychic, intuitive energy here. There's also a bit of fear. A fear of the unknown. Fear of the unseen. Maybe there was this energy that used to feed off of yours, which no longer can, because you have moved on from them and have chosen yourself in the situation. So there might have been things coming up for you that helped you to free yourself. And it had something to do with the subconscious mind. And it also had something to do with your spiritual calling here. And the fact that you're meant to experience the dark and the light and then be somewhere in between. This is you learning what you need to learn here, practicing, tapping into ancient wisdom and knowledge, and anchoring in some sort of prosperity, harmony, peace. This is the seed of creation. So it's like you're understanding the laws of the universe, and you very much could be in a position to share this somehow. It's like walking by faith, okay? You know, and then there's the veil, there's the moon, there's things unseen, unknown, hidden secrets. That's the bottom of the deck, sorry. All right, so I feel like you're moving on in union with oneself and spirit, okay? You are supported by the universe. This is representing like a new phase, a new cycle, right? Like looking at the Fool and the moon, right? Embarking on a new journey. Not everything is seen or known, but there's faith here. There's trust in this process here. We have the Magician clarifying the Emperor. So you have strong spiritual power and authority. This also can be someone who's coming in to work with you. They also have a lot of resources and abilities themselves. This is something that maybe they're a leader in their field in some way, shape, or form. So there's wisdom and knowledge here because this represents the teacher, the alchemist, the creator. All right. So there's like strong creator energy here. There's strong like occult energy here too. And I mean occult in the sense of like knowing ancient wisdom and knowledge and applying it now in the physical, because this represents the present moment. Okay, this represents the now. It's like tapping into your abilities, receiving divine guidance when it comes to sharing what you are here to do. There is this work you're meant to do together. And it's kind of like you're independently working on yourselves as a result of, you know, coming into union with yourself and the divine as we'll also call in this union with this energy that I'm picking up on over here, the divine feminine, divine masculine. I feel like there's choices here. Judgment. We have Six of Wands. We have victory and success and overcoming challenges triumphantly. Someone is triumphant. Okay, whatever they wanted to accomplish here, I feel like you're the one accomplishing it. There's this observing you in the limelight. There's observing you being supported by those that, you know, you've built support for. It's like you support them, they support you. And it's like in alignment too with all the wands and upright. There's like celebration. There's judgment here that somebody is probably not dealing very well with because they fear being accountable and responsible. They can't take on the fact that they've made bad decisions, and these bad decisions are playing out in their life. While they watch you succeed, there's divine intervention here. There's divine lessons playing out here for this couple and the group that they associated with, whatever group that is. It could be family, coworkers, a party group. But I feel like this is like God's wrath. Ace of Wands is like, you can do better. Let me show you how you can do better. There's this like making an example of as well of this group. So it's almost like, what did you really gain from this? What were you wanting to gain from this? It's like everybody's at odds with one another because there's some sort of competition or unalignment. I feel like the divine's coming in to create some sort of alignment, some sort of direction. I feel like they're directionless. They don't know if they're coming or going. Maybe they don't have strong belief systems. They don't have a strong connection to spirit energy or the divine, God, whatever source you want, whatever you want to call it, creator energy here. But there's this realignment playing out here. And there's some lessons being learned. Ace of Cups. I feel like it all results from an energy here where they lack self-love. It's like looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love in all the wrong places. I'm also getting like surrendering. I'm surprised I'm not seeing the Hangman. But I am getting a bit of like sacrificing and surrendering. Look at High Priestess in reverse. Really? Yeah. Someone is a High Priestess or High Priest in reverse, creating conflict, chaos, magic. I feel like their abilities, their ranking is being removed. So they won't have access to do what they used to be able to do because they abuse their power. So I'm getting like someone's being rendered powerless. And that is part of their spiritual lesson here. That's their judgment. Because that's not what the energy is intended for. It's like, what are your intentions? Like, check yourself. Someone's being checked. Like checkmate energy. I'm also getting like whatever you sent out and conjured up. Intended, okay, words, spells, words are spells, people. Your negative projected thinking is a spell. So check yourself. This energy is being returned to sender. All right. I feel like the divine is heavily intervening on your behalf. Four of Cups. They are realizing all attempts have failed. And there is this loss. There's this loss of you. There's this emptiness, feeling like Like, why can't I have that? Like, there's this, and I feel like it's as a result of the past. And it's like not wanting somebody to experience love because there's this competition here. It's like, well, if I can't have it, you can't have it, right? There's this negative intention being pushed out here. And I'm also getting with the Four of Cups that they don't appreciate what they have when they have it. So there might have been a blessing here that was meant to help heal somebody, right? Maybe they had a difficult family dynamic, and then maybe there's an energy here that came in to share love with somebody. It might have been a wish, but they rejected the blessing. And as a result, they lost the chance and opportunity. There's an ending here. There's no coming back from this. Okay. Four of Pentacles. I'm getting someone is also experiencing the lack, feeling like they have to pinch. They're holding on to certain things that they find valuable. So maybe like materialism is playing a big part. Maybe they're an opportunist and they go into relationships for the sake of personal gain to help them look better, feel better, appear better. There's like holding up appearances. I feel like maybe someone is staying in a dynamic or has been staying in a dynamic because they have to hold up appearances. And I'm getting like this very much could be coming to an end. There's also like revealing what people may have done for the sake of money. I am getting like the books on top of the crown. There's a box that's closed up kind of, and then there's a pentacle kind of blocking the heart chakra. So I'm looking at where these pentacles are, and I'm getting that there's this, and the foot is like, you know, firmly grounded on this table. So they're using this as a way of like propping themselves up. And so instead of them being able to stand on their own, 2 feet unbraced, and realize their worth and value, they're having to depend on other things, which would be the table, you know, having to have something locked up because they feel like they can't be vulnerable in a situation. There's this codependency playing out here. There's this resistance to change. And then we have Strength card. So this talks about ego. It talks about pride. It talks about staying in our lower virtues when it comes to our physical reality. And sometimes letting our ego and pride rule the roost, okay, and kind of affect what we experience in life. And so there's a need to maybe find some forgiveness, compassion even, understanding, maybe even some courage. There might need to be some courage to leave a situation that is no longer serving somebody. And there to be some sort of realization and understanding of why we hold on to things that we hold on to. What is it truly serving us? Like this is kind of like the animal instincts getting the best of us. Okay, so this could represent like, you know, pride and ego. There's that Hangman. There's this need to go within and to reflect. And sometimes people are isolated in order to do that because they are so affected by what everybody else is saying because they're codependent. And so they're having a hard time making decisions on their own or taking action on anything because they are codependent and resistant to change. So there's this kind of you know, tying somebody up and saying, all right, like, if you're not going to make the change, we're going to help you make it for you. And there's like truth that's being spoken here. There's some sort of like communication here, and it's swift. So there could be something coming that someone receives information on that is going to put them in a hangman position. And so when I'm getting the, whatever this communication is, it could be from some sort of like law, legal matter. And it may affect their physical reality as well as their emotional state. It very much may put them in a position where they're having to like tune in to how they've been acting. I feel like, you know, a lion is fierce, right? And they may be struggling to kind of like tame that inner beast here. And as a result, like they may be acting out of anger or frustration or, you know, I'm getting like acting out. Okay. I do have this Knight of Swords. So I'm wondering if like there's a lot of communication going on. Let's see. What else do you want to share? Three of Cups. It has something to do with others. I'm getting like it's a group that drinks a lot, parties a lot. This could represent like a group of people that they associate with. There is some sort of information coming out, and it's coming out that it might have been like in the dark or hidden. I feel like this is truth being illuminated here. Maybe there's truth being illuminated about who they've been associating with. Maybe there's some sort of break in the illusion. I'm getting with the Hangman. It's like, okay, we're going to show you what's truly going on. And maybe you have to be isolated and removed because otherwise there's no change. There's this resistance. So I feel like there's clarity coming in. And then we have the World card. Okay. Interesting. I'm getting like whatever was going on with this group, it's coming to some sort of completion. Okay. There might be news that's going to put an end to something once and for all. Or there's some sort of end coming for this group and what they've been doing in the dark. Okay. And I'm getting with the swords, it's kind of like a sword is double-sided. So there could be truth coming out and it's going to slice through any lies. So there could be evidence or proof coming to light that is going to put something to an end, a completion. And what is this? The Ten of Swords and the Justice. Yowza. Okay, so Ten of Swords, Justice. Yeah, and I was talking about the swords and how they're, you know, they're pointy, okay, and they're sharp. So I feel like there is some sort of legal, whether it's spiritual or in the physical, playing out here that is going to be a massive ending. It's going to be painful. And I feel like it has something to do with maybe what they tried to do, which is to create some sort of demise. And there's some sort of accountability playing out here. Okay. I have a Page of Pentacles and a Six of Cups. I'm getting like somebody is afraid to be accountable for everything that they've done behind the scenes. And I feel like whatever information's coming out that has been, you know, illuminating someone's secrets is going to be the nail in the coffin and create some sort of ending as well as justice, because we have judgment and justice here regarding a King of Swords. So I'm getting like this very much could be you know, someone being held accountable for what they've done. And it's like there are laws above man playing out here. Laws above man. Okay? There is this page energy. There is this Six of Cups energy. We're going to see what that is. It's kind of like someone's operating from extreme wounding and feeling like, you know, they've never received the support or love in their life. And as a result, like they've had to, you know, get things in a way that was manipulating, because that's all that they know. And there's this opportunity here to kind of heal and balance the ego, okay, and receive some sort of guidance. It's like having balanced energy here when it comes to your physical existence. Like you didn't come here on earth to continuously hold on to stuff from the past. There's like a need to release this. And I'm getting like there could be some universal assistance here to release these things, but it is a purification process in which to do so. There's like an ego death here. All right. I'm getting like an ego death. Like the lies, the afflictions, like this is now like a lot of it has been like afflicted, and then whoever they were dealing with here contributed. So maybe they were thinking that they have surrounded themselves around people who support them, but these are the ones that are putting the swords in their back. And there is some sort of like finale. There's balance here. What's this Page of Pentacles? Six of Pentacles. This is Six of Cups, a past person. Okay. So I feel like this past person may feel like they need to, I'm getting like there's some sort of evidence here. All right. So there's some sort of proof. There's some sort of receipt. There's some sort of something tangible, something that you could hold. This kind of represents like somebody starting off new. Maybe there was this, you know, something new, some seed has been planted as a result of what's transpired here. And it's almost like maybe somebody feels like they have some sort of entitlement to it. But I'm getting like, no, this is something that they don't have any entitlement to. It's like there's also like a bit of a new opportunity here for growth and development. And maybe this is something that they're also going to gain, is that they have an opportunity to start over again, but there is this purification process playing out. If they want to experience like something new in their life, then there are certain steps that need to be taken. And sometimes you have to start from scratch, right? Six of Pentacles tells me that there is some sort of high priestess in reverse that is very jealous of someone who gives from the place of love, right? There's this like the energy you put out, you receive back. And this is what is happening with this high priestess in reverse. The energy that they put out, they're now receiving back. And there's also this energy that they may have tried to manipulate you from being able to support yourself and your family, right? There could be this communications scam or slandering that's been going on about you being in your purpose and power and doing what you're spiritually called to do. There might have been some sort of defamation of character here. There may have even been spell work done to prevent you from receiving right? What you deserve. I feel like, you know, that's being balanced. They possibly could be affected by what they pushed out. Okay, so it's like if they put out negative energy to affect your finances, your stability, then they too are experiencing this at this time. They are experiencing the lack, the abandonment, the wounding here. The heavy abandonment wounding here showing up. So they feel left out in the cold. And, you know, they're very focused on their situations and they're not able to really see past them at this time. Everything kind of feels a bit like they're just wandering along in life and not really amounting to much. And it's as a result of their unresolved trauma. And the fact that they are resistant to make changes in how they show up in relationships. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot here. Like they're in a nightmare. They have created a nightmare for themselves. It's like on repeat. 5 of Cups, King of Wands. Yeah. This person, you know, thought that they were the best thing since sliced bread, but it was happening from like a wounded place. So the ego, the pride was what drove this person to express themselves in a lustful manner, therefore spilling cups everywhere and blaming everybody else and not taking any accountability for their own actions. So there's this experience for them to understand what it's like to be in a relationship with them. So maybe there's a bit of them in this energy of feeling like they're abandoned, they're rejected, they've been put in competition, their emotional investments have gone sour. There's like crying over spilt milk. It's like it's okay for you to do, but it's not okay for someone to do it to you. So there's like this double standard playing out here. Someone's pride got the best of them. Okay. They are learning a spiritual lesson. I feel like there's forgiveness here. There's the ability to learn from our experience here. I feel like somebody is being like sacrificed, surrendered, put in a timeout so that they can learn the spiritual lesson. Okay? Whether they like it or not. I feel like they don't have a choice. Okay? There's a bit of like Seven of Cups. Is this in the reverse? It's in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like somebody knows the truth. And I feel like they're cutting through the illusions of things. There's some sort of like, whatever 7 deadly sins, right? Or 7 like earthly desires. I feel like someone is speaking up about someone's earthly desires and how it has affected their life. They very much could be held accountable legally, whether it's spiritual law or physical law, about what they've been doing, okay, behind the scenes and the illusions and, you know, their desires, I feel like, have gotten them in some sort of trouble, okay? Yeah, and I'm getting like there are laws above man here that are playing out. Someone's gaining clarity here about their indulgences and where it's gotten them. Okay, we have the Hermit. So this tells me that there is something coming to light for all to see. So whatever has been going on in the background that they may have been hiding is what is going to be exposed. And I feel like this group also has access to this. This group's being exposed as well. And what they've been doing behind the scenes as well. So I feel like whatever evidence, whatever's coming to light, whatever receipts, it's going to be visible on a bigger scale, okay? Because the sun is clarifying the world. So what I'm getting is like, this has to come to light so that it can be balanced, okay? The sun is telling us that, like, clarity, awareness, understanding. All right, we have 10-10 here, massive endings, okay? Massive endings, someone feeling very burdened by everything that's been playing out here. There's just like, you know, or do you want to keep taking this everywhere you go with you, or are you going to put the bag of shit down? I feel like someone is extremely burdened by what's going on right now in their dynamic, in their life. And here's the thing, this is what a cause for change is. This is a cause for change, okay? Like whatever happened in this dynamic here, all right, this, whether it's the Two of Cups or the Lovers, like someone had free will choice on how they show up when they're in relationships. And this is how they show up. And now this was mirrored back to them through this group, through this person, through this dynamic, through this lesson. Okay, and it's a catalyst for growth, and it's a catalyst for healing. You know, there's a need to grow from our experiences, and I feel like this energy has been refusing this, and I feel like this is kind of like, well, you know, change is coming whether you like it or not. Yeah, Four of Swords, healing. There's a need to recover. There's a need to connect with your inner self, right? There's a need to tap into the subconscious because it's affecting our physical reality here, and it's causing us to go within and receive healing. So someone very much could feel like healing is too much, and it's almost like they'd rather hold on to the burdens than face their fears and the realities, the mind. It's like they're having a hard time with being accountable for, you know, their mind and what it's actually created. Because this also talks about prayer. It talks about meditating. It talks about connecting with spirit. And there's a blockage here. They have blocked their connection to spirit because they are afraid of judgment and being accountable for what they've done. There is this love here. There is this overfilling cup of love that they have access to if they truly want to put in the work. So someone is being guided to put in the work and do the healing that is required. It's like all the love that you wish you had, you now can have, but it starts with you. There's a need to start with them. Like, put in the work and you too can experience the love that you desire. So there's energy here that's being called to put in the work. Two of Swords. There's a decision. It's up to them. They have free will choice to decide on which direction to take. There is a Knight of Cups. There is a Ace of Swords. I'm getting that they understand that you were the one that held love, unconditional love, but they use their free will choice to entertain others behind your back and breadcrumb and give to others, okay, multiples. And as a result of that, you were provided the clarity because you were settling for less than what you deserve. And this energy was not willing to be honest or truthful with you as to what they were doing behind the scenes. And so you received the clarity and insight and had downloads and intuitive hits, maybe even visions, so that you could move away from this energy. King of Pentacles. You are protected from this past person coming back and disturbing your peace. I have Queen of Swords energy and I have a King of Pentacles energy. I feel like with the King of Pentacles, this is you being stable and secure on your own and creating something from this experience that has been divinely guided. So you could be an entrepreneur, you could be someone who is focused on being very stable in your own right. But this also can represent an energy coming into your energy, but your back is to them. I'm also getting this energy does things for money because that's how they place value on themselves, because they're blocked in the heart chakra area. So there's an energy of like having to manipulate in order to get what they want. And they tend to go after those who are very independent, right? And strong, because that helps them appear strong. So it's kind of like they shapeshift. Okay, shapeshift. So yeah, and then I have a 7 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like they will love nothing more than to return back to you. However, they're being held into account for the destruction they've caused. They're still a liar, they're still a snake. And they see that you're abundant, and that's what they're interested in. All right. Tower. Yeah, there's massive endings playing out. It's almost like this person wants to try to line up plan B so that they can leave the third party, the 3 of Cups, the group, the energy that they're being held to account. Page of Swords. All they can do is watch you. Move on. They will be haunted by all the thoughts, memories of you, and they're going to be haunted by the fact of all the things that they did to you that caused you to leave them behind. Okay, they're being haunted until they start making changes. They have free will choice to go in a different direction, but they are choosing to sit back and watch and project energy on you instead of doing the work. So the divine is like, okay, no problem. We'll continue to remind you all day, every day, and all night long about what you actually did. This energy has a hard time reflecting back on the past. Juggling. Yeah. 9 of Wands. I feel like the juggler got juggled. Someone got played. The player got played. So they got a taste of their own medicine, and they're bothered by it. They blame everybody else. Yeah. Knight of Pentacles. I'm not getting that you have had any kind of interaction with this energy. With this Knight of Pentacles, I'm getting they may have juggled somebody at work. There's something that has to do with work here. And I'm getting like love bombing here. I'm getting like giving to others behind someone's back. There's some sort of like investing, assessing, working on their finances and realizing that maybe they invested in the wrong thing. I feel like maybe they didn't really value something that they should have valued. There is balance and restoration playing out here. And there's some sort of harmony being restored. There's this alchemizing energy, transmutation. They may have even they may get paid to be in some sort of like player energy. So they may have made money by being in some sort of like physical relationships with people. I'm getting like it may have actually created some sort of like internal like disharmony. So like maybe there's some sort of like sickness, illness, STD, some sort of like they're not looking too good. I feel like they look like they've aged a lot of years. I feel like there's a bit of like, you know, maybe love bombing for the sake of personal gain here. I'm getting opportunist. So they may like go around and date to see how they might personally gain. So they play the field because they're always assessing options for personal gain. And with this Temperance and the Ace of Swords, I would get, well, they may have juggled the wrong one. They may have tried to personally gain off the wrong one. I'm getting there's balance being restored here because I'm getting like maybe the person that they connected with is doing this to them. So it almost like puts them in an energy of feeling unworthy and not enough is what I'm getting. And then I feel like they're the one who usually puts people in that position, and now they're in that position. Maybe they didn't see this coming. Maybe they thought that they were the one in control, but they were being controlled, manipulated. Yeah, I just saw the Five of Swords. I'm getting like all of this has helped you attain some sort of stability, security, worthiness. I'm getting like now you know your worth, okay? And I'm getting like people have seen your worth, but it's like maybe you didn't see your worth. So all of this kind of worked in your favor, right? And you may be someone who has divine favor. There's this accumulation of positivity, kind of like deposits in a bank. So I'm getting like you have good karma. And like things are working out in your favor, and you make very smart investments too. And you understand if someone's not willing to invest in you, you're not investing in them. So it's like it has to be even keeled for you to engage and invest your energy. Okay. So there's this like entertaining the many, and you're like, nope. Eight of Wands. What's this Eight of Wands? What's coming? There's fast movement. Devil. Nine of Cups. Someone is heavily indulging in their addictions. Okay. And then I got a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, and I feel like there's an energy here that they're working with that is creating a lack of stability and security here. And as a result, it's like feeding this person's addictions. I'm getting like, maybe they thought that there was stability and security here, but I'm getting like it was all a plot, a plan, some sort of lie, some sort of deceit playing out here. I feel like somebody knew someone had unhealed wounds and they created a trauma bond with this person, and they continued to indulge in whatever toxicity it is that the two of them had in common. Okay. And there was a lot of investment made on this. I feel like there was a lot of false promises. There may have been an experience that this person, you know, may have shared that they wanted. And it may have involved other people. Maybe entertaining other people for money. Maybe doing some sort of like sex magic for money. Indulging in substances here. I feel like somebody has been put in competition and their heart is broken. 5 of Swords. Jeez. Okay. There's a lot of lying, slandering. Excuse me. There's that demonic attachments. There's that dark energy. There's the addictions and everything else you could possibly imagine going on with this group. Okay. Somebody could have done black magic and rituals to create some sort of spiritual attacks. And they've been manipulated the whole time. I'm also getting like someone's coming to collect. Guess who's coming to collect? This energy is coming to collect. If you made promises to dark energy through black magic or negative intentions, they're coming to collect. And it's almost like they want to get in your energy because you have favor. And maybe you bless others by just them being in your energy. But the thing is that if you deal with this energy, it'll put you in reverse. So you can't engage. King of Cups. That's who you might have walked away from. Or you're a King of Cups and you're the one that did the walking away. Or there's a recommendation for a King of Cups to walk away. Okay. I'm also getting there's like a lot of slandering and lying and defaming and attacking and hiding your hand. There's nothing hidden here. Not a damn thing is hidden here. 8 of Swords is telling me this person is in a mental prison. They would love nothing more to escape the mental prison that they are in. They could be in spiritual prison. They could feel imprisoned. They very much could be trapped in their mind, feeling depressed, maybe even afflicted. Ace of Pentacles. There's a blessing coming in, or this was a blessing. This was a blessing in disguise, because what it did is it freed you to be with somebody who is truly going to be a partner, someone that's going to show up for you like you show up for them. And this is something that you have healed through and are attracting into your reality. And that is a blessing. And you are deserving. This is you understanding that you are deserving. Okay? You are worthy. You are enough. And this energy is going to see you as such. They're not going to put you in competition because they're wounded. Okay? 3 of Wands. This is on the horizon. This is you waiting for your ships to come in. Right? We have the 4 and the 3. This also can represent like you exploring new adventures. I'm getting like explorer. Like Dora the Explorer. Right? I feel like you're ready to explore what else life has to offer. You see things from a different perspective now. You've gained a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And, you know, this is for your soul's growth too. So there's alignment here. This is in alignment with your higher calling. You very much could be connecting with a twin or a soulmate, a partner, a friend, a kindred spirit even. You very much could be offered something, or you've created something that is going to take off. There's this like growth here, right? Queen of Cups. All right, what's coming for the Queen of Cups? The Queen of Cups is someone who's very empathic, psychic, very in tune with consciousness, very loving, caring, kind, humanitarian. So what I'm getting is that there very much could be a blessing coming in for the energy that's in their higher calling, right? And, you know, maybe a bit of like helping others along the path, right? Because there's there's a calling on that life to do so. This is like humanitarian vibes. So it's like being blessed so you can bless others. This could be like a spiritual gift. It could be an actual physical gift. It could be inheritance, lottery, an increase of some kind, or just like someone coming from afar that, you know, sees the value, sees the worth, wants to, there's this like alignment here, spiritual alignment coming in hot. Okay. We have Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like they watch you from afar. You must be doing something, creating something, working really hard. You're very hardworking and you're very dedicated. And there is an offer of like adoration, appreciation, acknowledgement, maybe even an apology of some kind. I feel like they tried to prevent you from being in your purpose, but I feel like it only made you stronger. What do we have here? We have the Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Knight of Wands, and a Three of Pentacles. So, yeah, there's some sort of like teamwork makes the dream work, okay? Teamwork makes the dream work. It's coming into fruition here. I feel like this is a legacy. This is emotional happiness. This is, you know, being in your purpose and feeling charged, going after what you desire, and working with others to create like new world energy, like new earth energy, like experiencing the life that you desire here and being able to create it, and very much could be inspiring others to do the same. It's kind of like leading by example here. I feel like there may be someone who has some sort of, they may be a bit older than you, so they could be sharing wisdom with you, guidance. Maybe they do something and you're meant to work together. You know, they're working on a horse, okay, and they're fixing the shoe. Horseshoes could be significant. I feel like you're going to feel like this partnership is very lucky. You're both going to feel very lucky and blessed to be able to work with one another and do what you came here to do. And I feel like you had to experience all of the things so that you could apply it to your work. So nothing is wasted. Okay. So it's like seeing things from that perspective, like everything serves a purpose. Okay. All of those lessons, all of the things that you're mastering, right, is for the sake of whatever you're meant to do with this energy. This is, you know, someone having an expertise and sharing it with you, or you sharing it with them. And it's a legacy. You know, it's going to create happiness and fulfillment for your family line. I feel like this is a strong inspire, passion, motivated to make a difference in the world. So I feel like you're here doing it. You're here in your purpose, doing what you were called to do. And the divine is supporting you in doing so. And anyone who's trying to oppose you is learning the lessons that they need to learn on their path. And sometimes you have to get out of the way. Get out of the way, all right? Your part is done. Your part in this situation is completed. It's time for you to move on. We saw the Wheel of Fortune right out of the gate here. So, you know, things are coming to an end so that there can be new beginnings, right? Look at, so things are playing out the way that they're meant to play out. Trust in the process, okay? Trust the process. Wow. You know, sometimes I'm just like, woof, boy, all that energy. Sending you guys lots of love. I hope this reading was helpful. Don't align with any, you know, don't make something resonate if it's not for you. What's what I'm trying to say? If it doesn't resonate, don't make it fit. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, sending you guys out lots of love, and I'll see you guys on the next one.